My name is Peter Maribey, and I'm the Career and Life Planning Coach. So in this presentation, we'll cover what is a virtual internship, some other details about the internship, how long does it run, when can you do this internship, who can do it, some key highlights, what are some other things that you get along with being placed, with a host company, and then what are the next steps if you're interested in doing this virtual internship. So if you're all okay with that as the agenda, let me get started. So what is a virtual internship? A virtual internship is a remote internship that allows you to gain professional experience with a company that is a global company. So a company that is somewhere, anywhere in the world. We have students that are doing virtual internships with companies in Australia, in the UK, in Europe, some in the US, and you can work with an international company or a nonprofit. You'll be able to gain experience. You'll actually work in a team, and you'll be able to um, do actual assignments and tasks in that team. You will not have to commute anywhere. It's a flexible schedule, meaning that if you're a student who is taking classes, you don't have to miss classes in order to do this internship. You can do your tasks uh, when you're not attending class. So that is a very big advantage. So uh, these internships, by the way, um, they they are about 1 to 4 months long. The next, there's one group that is already started. They started this week on Monday, and those were spring virtual internships. We have about 20 students doing them, and we have spots for only maybe about 40, less than 40. We have about 35 spaces for students now in the next group who will be starting in the summer. The application deadline is May 23rd, and we are going to give those spots on a priority basis. So the start date of this internship is going to be May 19th. So that is after 1 week after the end of spring semester, that is in the summer. So many of these internships, they're about 10 weeks to 12 weeks. Yeah, and um, for all students, well, at least an international student, all students can take them. Well, there are some certain conditions, yeah, but all students must enroll in a 1 credit or a 2 credit curricular practical training if you're an international student who is of course, on a visa, because that is required for you to participate in a program like this to fulfill your visa requirements. So here are some highlights. You get placed with an international company or nonprofit. I know many students are saying we want to work with a US company. However, uh, it's not possible to get everyone US companies. And the reason why we got virtual internships was so that as many students as possible can get some work experience. So if you've never worked with a US company, it's very hard to break into and get a job, even a paid internship with a US company. So one step that we thought, let's help our students, is to get some work experience somewhere. So if you have no work experience, very hard for you to get a paid work experience. So as I said, it is part-time, it is unpaid. Or you could also do full-time. If you're taking in the summer, you could do 40 hours. Yeah, or you could do full-time. But you could also do part-time. You'll indicate in your application. And in your application, you can choose up to three location preferences. The company that we're working with who are contracting uh, will try and get you one of those. So we've had some students who are insisting that they want a specific company in a specific location, and that's not realistic because um, we are guaranteeing you an internship. Yeah. So the company is guaranteeing that if you sign on and you confirm, then you're guaranteed that they'll get you. They just cannot get you exactly the place that you might want. Okay. But it's important for you to think about at least getting some experience this first time. It's unpaid. It might not be in a company or location that is your top choice, but it might give you some work experience so that the next time you want to apply to a job or to a internship, you will be able to get one that is paid and that's one that is of your preference. Okay, so that's not the purpose. The purpose of this is not to get you your first choice, a paid internship in a location that you is your first choice. Yeah. So let's be realistic about that and set our priorities right. Okay. In addition to being placed with a company where you'll be able to do work for at least maybe 10 hours to a certain number of hours a week, you will have access to a career bridge, a career development with this company. It's a tailored online curriculum, and you will receive coaching and weekly groups, discussions and webinars, as well as evaluations from your supervisor. So all these things are to set you up so that you can become, a candidate who can compete for other internships and jobs. So beyond the program, since we are working with this company, you receive, of course, feedback that can help you to improve and to know how you can how you can stand out in the market as an employee who wants to enter into a certain field, and a certificate, as well as a membership to this virtual internship alumni network. These are people who have gone through this program. Many of them now are employed, some of them by the company that they were interning with. And that's an important network that you will want to have when you're now looking for jobs after campus. And then you will also have the chance to earn 1 or 2 credits of CPT. So, what is the call to action? Then, as I mentioned earlier, we are now recruiting. The applications are now open for summer 2025 internship. If you complete your application and you receive an invitation to be a part of that program, then you are guaranteed placement. Okay, so I have to repeat that. You will choose three top location preferences, and if you scan this, you can submit your application now. All right. So I know there are many questions I didn't read here, and if you've just joined us, please just type in your ID number so that we can know who is here and we can take attendance if you haven't already. But before I take any questions, I would like to invite Glenn Musoke. He's one of the students that just applied in spring to unmute his microphone, and then you can tell us, Glenn, what is the program you're doing right now, and tell us what is the process that you went through up to the point where you were placed with a company?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, my process for applying for virtual internship was smooth. Basically, I had to sign in with my Google account, and then I had to input my details in regards to my experience that I've got from back in my home country, and then I had to put also my skills and also what my interests are in my career path. So I had to specify that on the virtual internship portal. And after applying, I had to also answer some questions whereby they asked you like what your expectations from this whole program, and then also what challenges you experience. Then after that, I applied, and within about 2 to 3 weeks, I think that was in January, because I applied in December, and then in January, that's when I got a response that I've been given a placement for an interview.
Okay,
So I did
and
interviews.
just before you carry on, part of the application was submitting a video, isn't it?
Yes.
How long was the video and what was the video about?
The video is basically it was divided into three segments. Um, there's there's first of all, the first part asks you about your experience. Um, I'm not so sure what the second one asks for, but then the third one asks about the challenges that you are likely to expect during the internship.
Okay, and
Yes.
then so once you submitted, you once after the application was closed, then you received a message from the company saying inviting you to interview with a company. Is that what happened with a
Yes.
host company?
Actually, to add on to the video,
Mm.
there's some sort of like a guidance that shows you how to answer the questions that are given to you. So it's much easier. It's not complicated. So basically, you just answer depending on that, and then you make a short a short explanation within 2 to 3 minutes, and then you record it.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
so it's not very difficult.
it's not difficult. And
Okay,
then after submitting my application, I waited for about 3 weeks. That was in January. That is when I got an invitation for an interview with two companies. I
okay,
did one of the interviews with one of the companies. I did not get a response on that on my progress. And then the second one, I did an interview with them, and immediately they gave me placement.
okay, wonderful. Thank you. I might call upon you again, but we also have another student that was also placed with a host company. If he's willing, Ayush, are you around? Ayush, Ayush.
Hello?
Yes, hi, how are you? You were placed with a company and you've started, isn't it?
Yes, Peter. I had to go to home, and that's why I'm in my car, but I'm still joining and listening. I'm
Oh,
sorry I
okay.
cannot talk
Oh, you
at
can't
this
talk.
moment.
Okay, okay, that's fine. Is there
Okay.
another is there another student who is with us who's been placed?
Yeah, the process was the same as Glenn talked about, and everything was smooth. And then I had an interview with a company called Aubert, and it's based in Australia, but they have few people out here in Redwood City, so which is
Okay.
close by. And so interview process was, they asked me to tell about myself. They asked me the challenges that I've faced in my life previously and what kind of projects that I've done. And after that, they told me what they were doing. And right now, I'm just learning about their product, and I have to meet with them every other day. So it's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for now, they have a supervisor who is guiding me on how to read all the product description and everything. And afterwards, they said they'll put me in a team. So that's all for now.
Okay, but thank you so much. If you can tell us what were you placed in? What is the position or the kind of internship where you are placed? The name, is it data analysis? Is it software engineering?
It's software engineering intern junior.
Okay,
Junior software engineering intern. Sorry.
yeah, okay. And
Yes,
Glenn,
Peter.
where were you placed? I mean, what's the name of the position and what will you be doing?
Data science and development. I'll be majorly dealing with data analysis and also some bit of international development in the organization.
Okay, so we have
Yeah.
now some questions coming in. Thank you so much, Nilofa. Um, the question is, how technical are the interviews? Any of you can respond. How technical were the interviews? Are the interview questions?
On my end, for the interviews that I had, they basically did not ask so many technical questions. It was more like on the surface. So basically, you just describe what your experience is in terms of your skill, like what have you done and what have you developed, and that's it. So they don't like ask you more technical questions in regards to what you're good at. So it's
Yeah,
majorly on the surface.
yes, and thank you for that question. This every student who is accepted gets placed. So even if one company does not take you, the one host company does not take you, the company will arrange for you to meet another company. Yeah. So we've had students do even up to even 3, 4 interviews and until they get placed. Yeah. So you don't have to worry that you will not get a place. Once you are accepted into the program, you will get a spot. Yeah. So they will keep introducing you to companies until you get one that is a good fit. So, but you have to remember that if you're an international student on a F1 visa, you will have to choose uh, an area that is in your major. So, for instance, you cannot be doing computer science and then choose an an internship, a virtual internship that is business related, like human resources. Or you cannot be a business and then choose something that is not in your area. So just make sure that you just have to make sure that it is something that is in your major. Yeah, and then another thing is for international students who are also on a visa, you need to have completed 2 semesters. So, for instance, if you're an international student who started in the fall of 2024, that is in August, you can do the summer internship. You'll be eligible. Yeah, you can apply now and you will be able to do the summer internship. If you started in spring and you're an international student and you'll only have done spring semester, you won't be eligible until the fall. Okay. If you're a domestic student, you can do any time, and you will not need to get authorization. Once you are matched with a company, uh, you'll be able to start, and and you'll be able to work without much restrictions. Okay, any other questions that we have from folks? Okay, thank you so much. How many rounds of interviews are there? If Ayush or Glenn are there, maybe you could tell us with the companies that you interviewed, how many rounds of interviews did you do?
I had only one round for each of the companies.
Yeah, okay, yeah. As you are able to gather from the folks that have just spoken, the purpose of the interview is not to eliminate you, from other people. It's really just to get to know a little bit about you and to know whether you're a good fit for the position. So it's not a very um, it's not a very technical, neither is it very difficult, but at least you get some practice for when you actually will be uh, when you want to get one in the future that is paid or a job. Okay, here is another question. What is the CPT process for international students? Do we need that before we start the internship? Thank you very much, Abigail, for that question. So here is the process for CPT for international student. You, first of all, have to figure out, are you eligible? Yeah, which means, have you completed two, semesters at least? And, you know, and then um, when, at the time when you are placed, so you submit your application, and then you do the interview. And once you're placed with a host company and you get an offer letter, then you apply for CPT. Yeah. So you will go to Salesforce, you will select, request CPT, you will upload the offer letter, and you will also submit, you will sign some documents, and then we will process your CPT very quickly before the start date. So the objective for us is to get you your CPT before May 19th, if May 19th is your start date. Okay, so I hope that is clear. You need to be issued with your CPT before you start the internship, but we'll work very hard to make sure that you have your document before the start date. Okay, another question we have here is, if I get placed in the US-based company for internship, is there any chance they might consider me for full-time after my graduation? That's that's a very good question. Um, I don't know. Um, it might be the case, it might not. So I don't really know. I would have to find out from the virtual internships, the company, how many people actually get hired eventually. But from but it might be the case, it might not be the case. So I don't think that you should count on getting a job with that company, because for many of them, they are small company. Maybe they are small companies. Maybe they are startups, and they are offering this as educational opportunities, and they're not really looking for full-time employees or for permanent employees as such. So I don't think you should count on virtual internships as a path to getting a full-time or a permanent job. I think what you should use it as an opportunity to get real-world experience that you can put on your resume, and that you can, share with future prospective employers, so that you can stand out. Okay. So thank you for that question. Any other questions that we have? Okay. Will there be a Zoom session for OPT related? I believe this is mainly for CPT. Yes, thank you for that question. This this specific session is not only for CPT, but actually for virtual internships. This opportunity that the university got in order to give, many students who are unable to get a paid, or even an unpaid internship, an opportunity to get work-based learning, yeah, to get experience. So that is the purpose. The university has actually contracted this company and paid. So for those of you who are interested, please don't go to virtual internship website to apply. You need to apply through uh, our, you know, through there's a special link that we have that you need to use to apply so that you are not charged. So this company actually charges, if you go to their website and you apply through their website, you're going to see a bill that they're going to charge you. But if you use our link, and I'll share that, let me share that actually. Let me see if I can get that. If you use our link, you will not be charged, okay? Because we've already paid the company. So here is the, here, here is the, you go to this website here, okay? And then go to virtual internships and you can click, let me see if I can share. Uh, is it here? Let's see if this is the one. Okay, so here is the page with the information, virtual internships, uh, where it says apply now. Here, use this one. Don't go to virtual internships. Use this one because this one has been created. You see here, it's been created for San Francisco Bay University. So when you are applying, you will not be charged. Some students went and applied on virtual internships on their website, a separate. This is the name of the company, and then they were being charged. I think like they were getting a bill of 300, initial, and then 1,000. And we've made a special arrangement, and we've actually contracted this company and paid them for those spots. So you don't have to pay. Yeah, we've already paid. The school has already paid. And then the only payment that you will make is for the students who need CPT and need to register for a 1 credit or a 2 credit. Once you register, you will be billed for 1 credit or 2 credit CPT. Okay, but that's the only payment that you will make if you're an international, student. So once you come here, you click on this link here, continue with Google, and then it will ask you, then you will use your single sign-on, yeah, credentials. You click here, then you sign on, and then you can complete your application. But make sure that it's this page, okay? All right, let's see whether there are other questions. Keep your questions coming. You can type them here in the chat, or you can unmute and you can ask. So here's the next question. For OPT, the International Student Advisor, Jesse Dumrate, holds a session for those students who are eligible for OPT. So you will receive a special invitation, and I think she will do a session, or she will invite you to meet one-on-one with her. So if you're eligible, make sure that you are reading your email, and that or if you haven't, you just search your email and see if you've been invited to a one-on-one meeting with her. Okay, then here, if we are in a virtual internship and receive an offer for a paid internship, can we switch? What should we do? Wow. Yeah, I see. Um, I think this depends on who you are. So if you uh if you are an international student, um, and this is if it is in the summer, I think you can actually do both. If it is in the summer, you just I think so. The only thing is, of course, you might need to register for another class. So I don't know whether you can do both. Um, I think you would have to choose one. So maybe you might have to accept one and then stop the other one, and then you will have to submit a new application. Um, I have seen that the departments, I mean the departments, they are very flexible and they can allow you to switch in the middle and continue without having to pay any new fees or to register for a new course. The only thing is that you won't have to pay any additional fees or you won't have to register for a new class, but you'll need to submit the paperwork because it will need to go into your I-20. You will need to get a new CPT. Okay, so if you get a paid one and you're saying, I want to stop, then you will need to contact us and you will need to submit a new application so that we can, so that the international student advisor can put that company in your CPT so that you can be authorized to work. I hope that is clear. So don't just get another CPT, a paid one, and then actually they won't even accept because you will need to go with your I-20 that shows that you're authorized to work. Otherwise, they will, you will go the, you'll go the first day, they tell you, bring your paperwork, and then you don't have it, and they will just cancel your internship. So make sure that you submit your paperwork. I hope that answers the question. If it's not, let me know. Okay, and then uh, is the CPT procedure for domestic students the same as international student? The CPT for domestic student is very easy. If you want to earn credit for doing a virtual internship or another internship, it's very easy. You will just uh, you will and there are students who have done that. They just apply, but one, you don't have the restriction on who you can work for, whether it is remote or whether it is domestic. It doesn't, you don't have restriction on how many hours, and then you don't need any paperwork. I mean, we don't give you any documents to take to the employer. Okay, so you will, if you're a domestic student and you are doing CPT, it's very easy. You just register for the CPT. Say what is the name of what is the company, the address, who will be your supervisor, how many hours you will be working, and then you will be registered for the class, and then you can just start. Yeah, you don't have to wait for uh, an I-20 to be issued because you don't need that. I hope that's clear. The international domestic students don't need an I-20 or any other kind of document. You just go with your work authorization or your passport or your whatever documents that you have that show that you're authorized to work. Okay, another question. I'm an international student. Is it okay if I just do only internship 1 or 2, as you mentioned, during summer without applying to any other course? Um, Thank you for that question. Yes, if you're an international student, because summer is considered a break, yeah, from normal academic work, you don't have to be registered full time in the summer. Okay, at least that's my understanding now. We have moved now to the traditional summer, which means that you can you don't have to be registered for a full load of classes. You can just do a 1 or 2 credit CPT as an international student in the summer. But that is if you're eligible. You need to have already completed 2 semesters. So you can't have started in spring and then do um, you won't be eligible to do CPT in the summer. But if you started in the fall of 2024 or before that, you're eligible and you can register for that. I hope that's clear. Thank you so much. These are good questions. Are there any others that are
Yes.
coming?
Hi, Peter. Pariksha this
Yeah.
side. So I have applied, not applied, sorry, I have registered myself for virtual internship. I have uploaded everything. So
Yeah.
how long should I wait to get, like someone is monitoring my profile, or how should I apply?
Yeah.
Because I'm not getting any company options to apply in my profile.
Okay.
So what is the,
Uh, is that for summer?
yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for that question. So the deadline is March 23rd, so they are not going to act on anything until after March 23rd.
Okay.
Okay, March 23rd. Once that day reaches, they close that application. Well, I don't know if they close. Well, they start processing. So from March 23rd, the company then will give us a list and will say, these are the people that have applied. Can you tell us who is eligible? Because they don't know. We don't give them that information. I
Okay.
mean, they don't have access to your records, your student records. They just see the application that you've submitted. So we have to go through the list and see who is eligible and tell the company, okay, these 40 people are eligible. Once we give them those names, then now they start contacting you. They confirm you. They ask you to confirm if you want to participate. And then they start engaging you. They start matching you with a company. And you have to, and all of you who have applied, you have to be looking at your portal. Yeah. And you have to be responding, you have to respond to emails, you, you know, quickly, immediately. Well, not immediately. I mean, you have to respond promptly. Let me put it that way. So we've had some students who have applied. They've been accepted into the program. The company is arranging for them interviews, but the students are not responding. Yeah. So the company now is wondering, what do we do with these students who are not, responding? They've been invited for interviews. They are not confirming they're going to attend the interview. So time plus passes, and then the student ends up with no opportunity. But it's because of it's out of them. They are not reading their emails. They're not logging to the portal. They're not responding quickly. They're not scheduling for an interview with the host company. They're not attending the interview once it is scheduled, and so they lose out. Okay, so once after March 23rd, you will start receiving messages, one after the other, and then you have to respond promptly.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So will virtual internship indicate whether it is 1 credit or 2 credits? Well, thank you so much. That's easy. Um, if you apply for part-time, that is like 20 hours or less, that is 1 credit. If you apply for up to 40 hours, that is 2 credits. So it's based on the number of hours. All right. So those of you who have applied, like uh, Pariksha, did you apply for 1 credit or 2 credit, part-time or full-time?
For me, it was picking up automatically, so it was showing for me by default 10 hours per week. I have not made
Okay.
any changes, so it was by default mentioned in the portal for me.
Okay, that's great. All right. Maybe you can go back and check and see whether you have the option to choose part-time or full-time. Maybe it might depend on the company. So maybe some of them might not have full-time host company, and some of them might have. So if you are interested in full-time in the summer, just make sure that you indicate that that's what you're interested in.
Okay, so after completing my 2 semesters, I think I will be eligible for full-time internship, like
Okay.
for
Yes, in the
full-time
summer. Yes.
in summer.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question. And then the other one is, can we apply to do more than one internship, or do we need to create multiple accounts for that? Okay, thank you so much, Success. So because we have these opportunities and we want to share them with as many students as we can, you can really only get one opportunity. So, I mean, then that means that at least 60 students will be able to get. We can't give like two internships to one person. And actually, they'll be quite involving. So, in addition to the work, you will also be participating in this career development workshops. So, you'll be fairly occupied. I don't know that you want to be doing more than one company, but that's how it works. Okay. Thank you so much for that question. And anyone else? Um, while I'm waiting for questions here, you can also unmute. I'll show you what the one offer letter looks like. Uh, an offer, because I have one here. I'll try not to show the name, but I'll show you the description, the job description, so you can see what kind of things that the people will be doing. So here is one. Um, here is one. Here's so just above this is the name of the above this is the name of the student. Yeah. Here's the name of the supervisor. You can even see the name. But anyway, it doesn't have any other personal information, so I think it's okay. Yeah. And then it has the location. This one is in the UK, the time zone, the company website. Uh, you can see here that what the person will be doing is data science support. Yeah. And then it describes here, we'll be doing research and development of analytical solutions, new product prototyping, uh, technical two, product technical communication support. The intern may utilize the ETC to do this. Oh, look at this, cybersecurity support. And then daily operation one, business development and partnership strategy and customer service excellence. And then the kind of tools that they'll be using, like Canva and all that. So you can see this, if you are especially a student that has not had work experience, yeah, this is the kind of opportunity that you want to have and to take, yeah, so that you can, if you get this and you do the job well, you can put this now in your resume, yeah, and you can put it on your LinkedIn profile. And also this people that you work with, if you do a good job, they can also be references for you. They will accept to be a reference for a job that you're looking for. Yeah. So that is the purpose of this internship. I know it's unpaid and it may not be in a company or place that you is your top choice, but right now what you should be trying to do is get experience, yeah, and to be able to do a good job and have people who can talk about you positively. That is the most important thing, yeah, because you're competing with many people. You're competing with other, students and other folks who have done internships and who can demonstrate to the employer that they have done the work. And that's what an employer is looking for. A hiring manager wants to be confident when employing somebody that you can demonstrate, you have experience and you can be able to do the job. That's it. And that is the purpose of this virtual internship. Okay. So let me see if there are any other questions before we. Oh, sorry. Somebody said, could I scroll up? Let me try and see if I can do that. Let me see. Here I was here. Here. Okay. Anyway, this letter does not have any personal information, so I hope it's okay if I just share here. Okay. Computer science and IT, data science and development at this. Here is a start date. It's 8 weeks, uh, 10 hours per week. So, and then at the bottom here, it says what are the tools. So it's not only tech, also students who are doing business administration can also apply and get an opportunity. Okay, so to the top of my first question, will it be eligible for OPT if I do virtual internship for full time? Okay, sorry, I should have said these virtual internships are not for students who are on OPT. This is for CPT. So OPT, you will need to find a job from an employer and not this. This is meant to be for students who are ongoing students, who are enrolled and who are continuing students. Let me put it that way. Yeah. And especially if you are undergrad, or even if you're a graduate, if you're in master's and you've not worked in the field. We've had some students who have had some experience in the field and they're applying. This internship will not help you. This is for those of you who do not have, like practical work experience that you can show on your resume and that you can tell a hiring manager that you've done. Okay, so that is the purpose of this. If you've already had some work experience, I really recommend that you continue searching and get a paid, internship or a paid job. Yeah. Okay. So is there going to be another session about this? I joined in late to get groceries and I wanted to. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We have recorded this. And so you'll be able to watch the recording. Okay. We'll share the recording later. I started in spring 25, but I graduated BCF from SFBU last year. Am I still? No, sorry. I think I said that. You're not eligible for virtual internship. That's for continuing students. If you graduated, then you need to look for a full-time job or a permanent job or a job, a paid job. Or maybe if you want to get unpaid, but this is, you won't be eligible for this one. Okay. So thank you so much. If you have any other questions, let me see. Is anybody? If there's any other questions, you can email me. Yeah, and I can try and answer your questions. But first of all, make sure that you have visited the web page. Let me post the for those of you who've just joined us. Here is the link where you can get more information and the link to submit your application.
I want
Okay.
to ask one question before it finishes. So you were
Yeah.
mentioning the students can do single sign-on with their Google account. So do they have to use like the student's Google account or like
Oh,
because it can take them to different account as well?
yes, please. When you're signing in, please use your SFBU single sign-on. Yeah, so that we can see that it is a student. We've had some people who are not affiliated to SFBU apply for this. And so we have to sift through and then remove those people. And of course, we can't give them an opportunity. So the best way you can stand a chance to get an opportunity is to use your SFBU. So we are certain that you are an SFBU student. Otherwise, if you use your personal email, some people have used their personal email, then they use names that we don't recognize. We just check those people because now we can't waste time now trying to find out, is this a genuine or an authentic student. So that's why we are not insisting, but we are strongly strongly advising that you use your single sign-on. Yeah, and then also you will be sure to get the SFBU portal that will not charge you any money. We've had some students who declined to participate because they signed in the wrong link. They were being charged money, and then they said, I didn't know we were being charged. And we are saying, who is charging you? you must have, so if you follow exactly what we're advising you, then you will get the opportunity, that the school has already contracted the company for. Okay. So we are almost at the end. It was an hour, and I just wanted to share. Uh, I think if you can see here, the call to action. Yeah, there's no cost to apply. It's a first come, first serve basis. And international students are eligible 1 year after full-time study, and then you'll get real-world experience. So you've had um, Glenn and Ayush say that they had to, submit some documents and they had to uh, interview. Of course, those things are not very difficult because it's not like you're really competing for a paid job, but also the company wants to see that you are able to communicate, you're able to answer questions, that you write well, because they're going to be giving you tasks to do in their company. So please make use of all these tools that we have in Handshake to prepare and to write something good so that, the person wants also to, they want you to work with them, a placement, even though it is unpaid. Yeah. So if you represent yourself well, then you will get one of the good companies who will give you a good reference at the end of the internship. When you're actually now applying for another job or another paid internship, these folks can give you a good reference. Yeah. So that's the purpose. Let me just make sure I've not left out any other questions on the table before we close this. The only other thing I can share now is that we urge you to log onto Handshake and sign up for other events, uh, and then we'll see you soon at the Student Success Hub. Thank you very much for attending, and have a good night.